Jeremy, all three of us were an ex-engineer at Google. So Ben and Jeremy both graduated in the US from Stanford University. So Jeremy, first job is actually Google. He graduated in 2000, and then he joined Google in 2000. He worked at Google for 8 years. After 8 years, he became an angel investor in Asia. So he invested companies. Some companies go IPO. A lot of them are actually very successful companies. And Ben also graduated, studied in the US and graduated from Stanford. And later on, myself is actually went to school in University of Washington in Seattle, where it's the home for Microsoft and Amazon. And later on, I joined Google through an acquisition. And I worked at Google for 8 years, worked on various products. I'll tell you more a little bit of products, what I've worked on later on. So in 2013, the story is Jeremy got tired of investing in companies. He's saying that instead of investing in companies, why can't we start our own company, right? You have all these ideas, you explain to other companies, say you should do this, and say, why can't we start an own company? So in 2013, he bought a Windows 8 computer for his dad. And his dad has been an IT technician since graduation. And he realized that he doesn't know how to use Windows 8. And then Jeremy realized that, wait, hold on a second. Microsoft has been around for 25 years. How can they got it wrong? How can you messed up a operating system? So he got him thinking that maybe we can do our own operating system. He started researching this and that, and then he used to work with Ben, and I used to work with Ben as well. So this is how we linked up together and started talking and say, wait, as a matter of fact, Android is an open source project. Maybe we can take Android to the next level. So in 2014, we started, in late 2013, we're doing an analysis on what Android would be. So I did a little bit of study in Android, and then roughly in 2-3 days, when they came and called me and said, do you want to join? I said, yes, of course I would like to join. Because at the time I was actually working on, we were actually working on mobile space. I realized that mobile has been exploding, particularly in Android. So we decided that we should take Android to the next level. We believe that Android is the computing platform for the future.
That is fantastic. It's a fantastic story, and I think that a lot of us can relate to the fact that even though Windows was supposed to have become user-friendly over the years in terms of its iterations, and it's certainly come a long ways from Windows 95. It's still not the most intuitive experience that there is. One of the things that I kind of regret not having done before this broadcast is actually experiencing what the Remix OS actually feels like. So I don't really have an idea of, in terms of usability and intuitiveness, how it actually works. I've seen the pictures; they look great. But if you could just quickly explain what are the, key features that make this markedly easier to use than, say, regular Windows.
Absolutely. So before I jump into the details of Remix Mini and Remix OS, I'll tell you a little bit of background of why we're doing this. Why we had that Kickstarter campaign that you earlier mentioned. We raised 1.6 million, which lead us to the 5th highest ranking in hardware all time in Kickstarter. So when we started this project, we looked at it and said, we look at the existing desktop, existing laptop. What is the problem with the existing laptop and thing? A lot of the times, you look at desktop, it's extremely power inefficient. We're looking at 200 watts or even to 400 watts to power a computer. And you look at the laptop, most people always carry two things when they carry a laptop. One, obviously, is the laptop. The second one is the power plug. Every 2 hours or every 3 hours, you always have to plug it in and recharge it. And we look at it and say, we have a cell phone. Nowadays, we are in the cell phone era. We are in the post-PC era. Why do you still need to carry on that power plug all the time. Why don't you only get 2-3 hours of power supply? So we looked and said, look at the cell phones. Nowadays, most cell phones can last for the entire day, easily 8 hours, right? So we looked and said, why can't we use the mobile technology to power a PC? Mm-hmm. So we decided designing this product and say we got to be able to have a very good power consumption, low power consumption device. So it has to be affordable and accessible. So these are the two main things. So we achieved this by creating a Remix Mini, which is a PC which only use 10 watts. Now I know there are a lot of emerging markets where they will use a power generator to generate power in the area. So having power consumption devices is actually extremely important. So another thing is a lot of the time people use PC for what are the reasons? We looked at the statistics. People are using it as checking their email, browsing, using the browser to browse the web, and watching videos and gaming. Now they will also use it for productivity, writing a document, writing a power presentation. So do you really still go back to the PC era using a Mac or using Windows? Or you can actually use a existing mobile platform to do all these things. We looked and say, wait, you can actually do all these things, right? Why do you actually still need to do things? And the key thing is the ecosystem. At the end of the day, is what applications you have on that platform, right? If you buy the most expensive computer on the market and you realize that all your apps is not on that platform, that's actually meaningless. So more importantly is the app ecosystem. Android clearly is the leading in this space. So we decided that we want to take Android and bring productivity into Android. So Remix OS is equals to productivity PC. So we added all these PC elements back into Android. So you look
Fantastic.
at the history of, yes, go ahead.
So productivity meets intuitiveness. I totally like I'm sure lots of people, especially in this market, will appreciate the fact the low power consumption angle. Obviously, being able to have devices that work for much longer and allow you to accomplish all your tasks is super important. Which kind of leads to another question that I wanted to ask you. And I haven't pinned it here, but I'm going to get back to that, especially around what the behavior is in terms of PC adoption for emerging markets. First of all, let us quickly take an audience question because they've asked this question for a while now. They say, how does Jide see themselves making any profit from Remixo as if it's already available for PC for free? And he was even asking before that, is there any conflicts with Google? Are you experiencing issues with other, do other players in the PC market feel threatened by this solution that you're bringing to the market?
Yeah, so we're very simple. One thing in mind in our product is all about the user experience. We want to build the best operating system in the world. So the key is we believe that once you have enough users, the business model will follow. So we're not thinking how we're going to make profit, but more importantly, as a startup, the entire company is focusing on how to make the product better.
That makes sense.
And then we're also spending a lot of time on building a community around this, because we realize that first of all, Android is an open source system, and if you want to build the next generation of product, why don't we actually involve in getting the community, right? So what we do is a lot of times we actually ask our community, what features do you want to be on a computer on Android? So I'll give you an example. When we were running the Kickstarter campaign on Remix Mini, we did a Facebook poll. There's roughly 5,000 followers on that on the Kickstarter campaign when we launched it on it, and we asked them, say, what is the most important features thing is on Remix OS? And our poll came back, and our users came back and say, you gotta have a good file manager, because if you look at Android, a lot of people use Android, they realize that there's no file manager there, right? If you want to use it as a productivity tool, if you want to use it as a productivity tool, you have to have a good file manager to organize your product. So we decided that we asked the questions to the community, immediately we built a very, very cool file manager on it.
Fantastic.
And of course, we also have a Facebook page for Africa as well.
Yeah, I did notice
so
Remix for Africa.
Remix for Africa.
Yeah, I think I will grab that URL and just post it in here. Anyone that wants to like the page. But everything you're saying actually just reminds me a lot about Xiaomi and pretty much how they started the whole My revolution in China, as it were. They started from tweaking the Android OS and building this whole community around, kind of like crowdsourced, the feedback from people, and it's like, what do you want in a mobile OS? What do you want, to see from a phone, before they actually built a phone itself. And apparently the business model is, we're going to make hardware, but we're not going to try and make expensive hardware. We're going to make hardware, then we're going to layer services on top of that and other, associated products. So it'll be interesting to see how you guys evolve. But the other thing that I found very, very intriguing is how aggressive your expansion strategy is. So this is most companies that we see that launch from Silicon Valley tend to be very US focused in the beginning, and then maybe after a year or two they'll begin to expand. But you have gone global from apparently day one. Your products are already available in 125 countries. You have this Africa expansion strategy. When did Jide technology has been around? It's not. I don't think it's up to 6 months, and you're already doing all of this. You're moving this fast. Why is that? What informs this really, really aggressive strategy?
Excellent question. So the way that I looked at it, I think when we started the company, we have make it very clear, all three founders to say, even though we are based in Beijing, China, doesn't mean that we're just serving one country or two countries. As a matter of fact, we are doing an operating system. An operating system, there's no barrier to any country. So what we believe is we want to make sure that we have a free operating system for everyone. We want to drive down the price because it's free. So you don't have to pay any license fee. So it has to be affordable and accessible. The way that I look at it is that I've been extremely fortunate to work on a project in Google. Back in 2010 and 2009 and 2010, I was the lead on a project called Getting Business Online. So in 2010, I don't know if you still remember, there was a project called Getting Nigerian Business Online. That was actually my project. So what I did is, at the time, everyone else was still focusing on developed market like the US and UK. We started a team in Google saying that we should help emerging markets to get online, because getting online, the benefit is just tremendous. So I lead the team to focus on Africa as well as Southeast Asia for emerging markets to get online. Getting Kenyan business online, getting South African business online, as well as getting Indonesian business online, etc., etc. So the idea is we want to have a free platform for businesses to go. Now imagine this, right? A business, normally a local business, you're serving your local community. Once you go online, immediately you're serving the entire country. People from around your country or even around the world will know about your business. We have a lot of positive feedback. We helped a lot of businesses to come online. So when I looked at our project, when I started my company, and say, we have to make sure that we have to look into the future. This is how I looked at it. We really truly believe that the next billion people, or even the next 5 billion people coming online, is going to come from emerging markets. These people are going to fuel the next generation of innovation, the next generation of computing. So when we're looking and say, why are we creating an operating system just for developed market like US and UK? We want to make sure that everyone is an equal playing field so everyone can benefit from it. So we also released a free version of the OS as well. And then we want to make sure that the Remix Mini is extremely affordable so everyone in the world can actually benefit from this.
Fantastic. That actually segues into the next question I wanted to ask. So in emerging markets, specifically India, which is as big as the whole of Africa itself. And obviously, if you come into Africa, which is not a country, as 56 countries in Africa, the first entry point that people typically adopt technology these days is no longer a computer. It's typically a mobile device. And when you think about it from that perspective, what is your thinking around that? Because this is kind of like a computer, but more people are just likely to pick up a mobile device first, So is there like a long-term strategy where you'll be, cascading the experience down to mobile phones? Right. Yeah.
Excellent question. Excellent question. As you said, we looked at the market in 2015, 2014. We're seeing a huge growth in tablet. In 2015, we're seeing a slowdown, declining both in PC as well as tablet. And the biggest improvement is actually 2-in-1 form factor. Last year, 2-in-1 form factor grew year to year over 200%, and the prediction of 2016 is going to double that again. Now, the way that I looked at it is this. Let's look at the history of Android. It started somewhere between 2008 2009. It started off as a cell phone. Android was started off in a cell phone and then slowly evolved into tablet, and then later on into TV, and then wearable as well as Android Autos. There's one thing in common. The common thing is it's all for consuming content. So that is actually good. Most people on the go is just consuming content, browsing the web, things like that. But then what is the logical step for the next step for Android? We truly believe that you got to be able to be productive as well. So we started the company in 2014 to say Android can also be a productive platform, not just for consuming content. Last year, 2015, that finally validated our vision. You see that Apple launched iPad Pro, where they're saying that it has a keyboard and then you can be productive as well. And then Google came up with Pixel C with a keyboard, telling you that Android can also be your productivity on-the-go device as well. So the way that I looked at it and said, okay, a lot of companies are looking at the presence bottom line. Doing cell phones, obviously, is a lot of growth. But what we are looking at as a startup, I think we are very extremely lucky that I've worked at Google, all three of us. And Larry has always been saying that don't think about tomorrow's or next one's, what people are doing. Think about what people will be using in 5 years. Think about what people will be using in 10 years. So that's one of the reasons that we, all three of us, left Google and started this company. What we feel is the future of computing is going to be Android, not just for consuming content, but in general, all computing devices for generating content, laptop, PCs, tablets, 2-in-1 form factors will also be Android as well. This is what we think, because the Android ecosystem will get stronger and stronger. Because when the next billion people come online, what are they going to use? Most likely it's going to be an Android smartphone. So this is the first time they're experiencing a computing device, and it's going to be an Android. So when they extend it to productivity device, very logically, naturally, they will actually pick an Android-based productivity device. It could be a 2-in-1 form factor, like detachable tablets and keyboard, or it can be a convertible, or it can be a laptop, or it can be a PC. So this is how we looked at it. It's the long term. People will be switching over to this new platform.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Someone's asking if you're going to be making more powerful tablets down the line. Powerful enough that they'll be able to support virtual reality applications. That is a funny question. I mean, considering that right now the Oculus is saying that Macs are not even powerful enough, but I don't know, do you want to answer that question? I think it's an interesting question.
Sure.
I have only a few minutes.
And the answer is absolutely yes. In CES this year, we went to CES in Las Vegas this year, as well as MWC in Barcelona. We have showcased a partnership, a close collaboration with Qualcomm, using their latest chipset, Snapdragon 810, the most powerful chipset in the mobile world. We have built a prototype with Qualcomm, showcasing a large screen tablet. It's actually 12-inch tablets. It's lighter and thinner than the iPad Pro, comes with a productivity OS, which is Remix OS, and that tablet is actually powerful enough to run anything.
Oh, sorry. I think we lost you. We lost the last 10 seconds. If you will just repeat what you said about that tablet.
So the tablet is actually running the latest chipset from Snapdragon 810. And obviously, we can also switch it to a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 as well. So that powerful device, they have showcased it to using it for virtual reality. And your tablet is actually powerful enough to do this.
That's fantastic. That's really good to know. So yeah, there you have it. Tablet people, you will not be excluded from the virtual reality revolution. You'll be able to experience it in 3D. Do not worry. Now, this is the point where if you want to dial in to ask David any questions, you can do it now. And do not forget, the person with the most retweets with TechCabal X Jide on Twitter, inviting people to watch this broadcast, is going to go with a Remix Mini Android PC. There's 2 people that will be winning that courtesy Jide technology. Thank you so much for making those available. People want to know, how much will the Remix Mini device cost? And I don't know, I hope you've done the conversion to Naira.
Yes. So next week, we are going to have a 3-day promotion on Deal Day next week. On the first day, we'll be selling it at 7,900. DealDay.com. So on the first day, we will be selling it on a promotion price at $7,999. That is absolutely the craziest price you can get. On the second day, we'll be having a promotion price on $10,999. And the third day, we'll be selling it on $14,999. These are all promotional price in the first 3 days on Deal Day. And then we are also going to be available on Conga.com. If you can actually search us on Conga.com/Jide-technology. You can actually find it today. It's already up there today. And on the promotion launch price, we'll be selling it at $16,999, and the regular price MSRP is going to be 29,999 Naira. So
fantastic. There's lots of people, like, if you look to the right now, you'll see like lots of people going, wow, amazing. I think there's people who want to buy this already. I think the promotional prices have something to do with that. People like promotion, so right. That's super cool. Yeah, so that is awesome. Someone's asking what day exactly. Do you know the exact date? That these products will be actually available to buy, so people don't miss it. Or you're still working on that, and then we'll announce to people later.
The due date promotion is going to be on next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And on Conga.com, it's already live. So you can actually go to Conga.com/Jide-technology.
I like how you're beginning to call the name like a Nigerian, because that is awesome. I find myself mispronouncing it all the time. I was totally convinced the first time I saw Jide technology on the internet that this is a Nigerian working on this, and Natalie was telling me on Twitter that apparently so lots of people are disappointed that this is not a Nigerian company, but I think they'll get over it. They'll be fine. She did.
I'm gonna come to Nigeria more often.
Yeah, so you've been to Nigeria before. What was? Do you have any stories? Cool Nigerian stories?
No, I missed the trip. So because I was the lead in bringing business online, both in South Africa, Nigeria, as well as Kenya, I was doing a tour. But I got sick, so I couldn't get to Nigeria. I stopped at Kenya. So I went to Kenya. I spent a whole week in Kenya helping business to get online, to understand the business needs. So what I did is on the ground, I talked to businesses and understand what their needs and helping them to get online. We have run a few programs, obviously. We work with universities, have volunteers helping businesses to get online, because a lot of businesses have never used a computer before. They don't know what a website is. So we actually, university students help them to put their business online, and we're getting tremendous feedback. And we have launched that in Nigeria as well.
That is how we know that you are ex-Google, because you're beginning to sound a lot like Google right now, or like a Googler. Pretty much Google's MO.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah, super cool. The SME component makes a lot of sense. I do agree personally that this is something that needs to be attacked. And one of the things that we're seeing, obviously, from the e-commerce revolution that has been happening for the past 3 to 4 years now is e-commerce companies helping merchants to get online. They've been building this pipeline of support, helping them to set up the websites, helping them to set up the logistics. Yeah, it's nice to see that is happening also from a software perspective in terms of just giving them basic skills. So super cool what you guys are doing. We're super happy that you were able to join us today. Lots of people seem to be excited about the product that is launching, and I do not know that we'll be able to announce the people that actually will be getting the Remix Mini. I don't know. Does Osaraman have those names for us? If he does not, we'll be announcing them right after this podcast via Twitter. Oh, he does. He does. Apparently, he does. So, who are the lucky? Who are the lucky winners of the Remix Mini Android PC, which will be going for 7,900 Naira promotional price on deal day next week, Monday. On Tuesday, it will be 10,000. Drum roll. I do not remember the last price, but you'll be seeing all those prices on dealday.com from next week. And if you really want to see it right now, you can just go to conga.com/ you know what? I'll just get all those URLs from you later and just put them in a blog post.
Jide-technology.
Fantastic. So it's conga.com/ Jide-technology on Conga. So yeah, that should work. Oh, okay. Someone's helped us with the URL. Fantastic. Yeah. So Osaraman, what are you doing? The suspense is killing us. Oh, okay. Congratulations, Ife, the proud winner of the first Remix Mini Android PC, courtesy Jide Technology.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Don Contra. Is Don Contra here? Are they on the blab right now? Fantastic. Yes, congratulations. Boss. Nice. So,
congratulations.
Tawanda's, I don't know, are you guys in Lagos or you're somewhere else? Where are you guys based? Of course, they'll have to figure out how to get these devices to you. There you go. He's in Lagos, so that makes things easier. Fantastic. So everything's under control. If you're not in Lagos, try harder. Next broadcast, we'll have more things to give away. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Sunday. You'll get lucky next time. I believe that we'll have more stuff to give away next time. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you so much, David, for joining us today. This was super useful, and we hope that we'll be able to talk about more stuff, especially on the emerging markets, internet and technology scene in Africa. And we're seeing linkages between Asia and Africa a lot, so yes, that should be useful.
And after the call, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask us. We can be online to answer any questions.
So just tell us Twitter, Facebook. I'm going to post a link now to your Facebook page. So if you want to like that, you should do that. Also on Twitter, I'm posting the link to your Twitter handle, Remix Global. That is also how you can contact them on Twitter. I'm sure they'll be happy to help you. Natalie is super helpful, and she's a really sweet person to talk to. Tawanda Mahere also set this up. Thank you so much for making this happen today. So we are just 1 minute over time. We have to say goodbye. Any last words, David?
Yes, I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity. We're very excited to be expanding it into Africa, so everyone will be able to experience the transformation that we have been doing. This is not easy, moving units into around the world. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank Scipio Logistic, obviously Jide as well as Conga, and our friends Afuya, was the founder of She Leads Africa. She's visited us and helped us a lot for getting a lot of connections.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, fantastic. Nice. That's good to know. You're talking to all the right people. So that is really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Congratulations to the winners of the Remix Mini Android PCs. And we will see you next week, Wednesday, the same time for the next live broadcast. Take care, everyone. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.